What's up guys, we're back with another character guide, and today's character is Samus. Samus is one of my favorite characters out of all Smash Bros. I played her all the way from 64 to Melee to Brawl, kind of dropped her a little bit in Smash 4 because there were so many more characters to choose from, so much variety. But I'm kind of picking her back up now in Ultimate because I'm kind of remembering just how much fun she is to play with. Samus has also received a ton of buffs as of the latest patch, I believe it's 7.0. And people are starting to say she's high tier, so a lot of people have taken interest in her and are trying to pick her up. So I figured I'd make a guide covering her. As with the last guide, I'm going to leave a timestamp in the video for the combos, just in case you guys are only here for the combos. I feel like that'll help a lot more people out instead of having to watch this full video, because some of you already know basically how Samus plays and the guide won't do you much good. Maybe it will though, so you never know. But hopefully the timestamp is there for you guys, and let's begin with this guide. Alright guys, let's focus on Samus's jab, her tilts, and her dash attack first. Her jab comes out at frame 3, which is pretty solid for a jab attack. If you connect to the second jab, it can leave them at 3.8, which is pretty good in terms of a jab. But what makes it really good for Samus is that her up tilt is actually a very good combo tool, and it actually becomes active around 6 to 10%. So now that you have them around 13%, it should work just as fine. So this is the up tilt. The reason why I say it becomes active is because it actually starts giving your opponent a spike animation, pretty much bounces them off the ground, allowing you to perform plenty of combos on them while they're in midair. Now it is a shame that Samus's up tilt doesn't actually spike. It only spikes on the stage for some reason, because there's another character in the game, Captain Falcon, who has basically an identical move, except if he catches you off the stage with that move, it will spike you and kill you at ridiculously early percents, making him very, very scary for edge guarding. But nevertheless, it's still a very good move. It puts out pretty good damage. It is a little slow, so make sure you're not just kind of swinging it around, because your opponent can easily shield it or parry it or whatever, really. It's one of those moves that your opponent probably can see coming, but if you get it on them, it will rack up a ton of damage through combos, which we will show later on in the video. Samus also has a decent down tilt. It comes out at frame 6, making it one of the fastest tools Samus actually has for her tilts, and it's good for edge guarding. Basically, if your opponent tries to cover or recover to the stage, you can kind of just pop them with it really quick, and then basically do whatever you have to do to keep them off stage, which is pretty solid. The only problem with most of her tilts are they have trouble killing, except for her forward tilt. I believe up tilt and down tilt start killing at around the maybe 170 to 200 range. It's not good, but they are still useful regardless. Now her down tilt is a very interesting move. I actually had to do a whole bunch of research on it to figure out kind of how to actually use it properly, because I've never really used it very often. I used it as basically you can without looking it up. So this is the forward tilt. Forward tilt is just a kick. However, there is a sweet and sour spot. The closer you are to Samus when she kicks you, the least amount of damage she'll do. And the farther you are, the more damage she'll do. But I do have scaling moves on, so let me try to show you that again. That was 12.6. I believe the other one was like 10 point something. And like Mark's Tipper, you can actually angle it up and down. If you angle it to the side, that's what it looks like. If you angle it down, that's what it looks like. And if you angle it upwards, which I kind of have trouble doing, let's see if I can do it. There we go. That's what it looks like. Now the cool thing is, if you angle it downwards, you can actually end up tripping your opponent, leading to a lot of follow-ups for Samus, which is really nice. But if your opponent is on the edge and you happen to kick them with your forward tilt, around 120 usually is the number I like to go for. If you can space it properly and angle it towards their head, it might actually kill them, surprisingly. See if I can get it on her. Yep, there we go. 13.8, and it does kill at 120. Now for heavier characters, it might take a little more than 120. For lighter characters, probably going to take a little bit less. But because she can angle it and tilt it the way she needs to, it's a pretty reliable tool for her, which I really like. Oh, and last but not least, her dash attack. Her dash attack did become buffed in the latest patch notes. However, you need to know when to use it. If you use it mid-map, chances are your opponent can easily DI it and live for quite a while. It does have a sour spot to it, so if you press the button, if you press your A prematurely, you're not going to get nearly the knockback or nearly the damage. Here's what it looks like, only 7.5. But if you can get your opponent kind of near the edge, or maybe catch them when they're getting up, this move can easily kill at 120. See that? Okay guys, so now we're going to cover Samus's grab, her Zair, as well as her throws. So Samus actually does happen to have a tether grab, which is really, really useful. It's a grab from a distance. Now be very, very mindful when using this tool because it is very easy to punish. It takes quite a while for it to actually come out all the way. And if you happen to miss or your opponent maybe spot dodges it, you are wide open and you will be punished. Just be very careful. Now, the cool thing about that is she does have a Zair, which means she can actually space her opponent out and strike from a distance if she needs to. And that basically allows her to have a safe option, possibly when your opponent, I don't know, like maybe when Joker has Arsene and you don't want to approach something like that, but you still want to whittle it down, that's just an option right there. And she can also use her Zair to grab onto the edge and help her recover, which is really nice. Now, Samus's grabs are interesting. She has two not so good ones and two pretty good ones. So the one that I think is probably the best is going to be her down throw. This one allows you to basically set up into combos. It does the least amount of damage out of all of them, but it sets up for so much more. So in the end, you will probably rack up anywhere from hopefully 30 to 50 damage just off that one grab. Now, her next two grabs are her forward throw, which does 12.6, and her back throw, which I believe also does 12.6. Neither are really that great. Neither really are kill options. They basically kill around 165 to 170 if you're just like straight up on the edge right here and you back throw them off. That being said, forward throw probably takes even more damage than that to kill, so definitely not your better options. However, you do happen to have one throw that is a kind of reliable kill option. Your up throw has been recently buffed since the latest patch, and it can kill usually around this percent. My opponent did not DI at all, so it helps out a little bit, but essentially that is your kill option. And if you are having trouble like actually killing with it, don't forget that Samus does have the ability to pummel. It's a frame 1 pummel too, so it's pretty fast, and you can just send it up like that. And even then, without my opponent DIing, it's still not the best tool when it comes to actually killing with the throw. So primarily, that can be a kill option, but you're more or less looking for your down throw to set up into other combos. Let's get into some of Samus's smash attacks. The reason why I have Dark Samus set to 65% was so that we can show you just how early some of Samus's moves kill, because I believe this might surprise a lot of you. So the first move we're going to discuss is a move that was just recently buffed in the newest patch, and it is her down smash. Now, the cool thing about Samus's down smash is not only is one of her fastest moves, but now that it, well, here, I'll show you instead of describing it to you. So it comes out way faster and can kill way quicker. Now the problem is it still doesn't kill at ridiculously early percents. However, Samus actually has two different times to hit you during that move, and the second is when she swings around her foot for like when from behind her basically. So as you see here, it goes 360 around her. That's because it actually ends up coming back around, and that's also a hitbox. So if you actually hold that down and clip someone with the back end of the hitbox, you are much more likely to kill your opponent. On top of that, it does about 5% more damage, I believe. Let's check that out really quick. So that's basically me holding it at almost max right there, 15.8. And this is me basically holding it like halfway. I'll hold it at max right there so you guys can see it one more time. I believe it's like 22 point something, yeah. Or 21, I'm sorry. But that move got buffed, so you'll be seeing that quite often now. Now, her up smash got buffed way, like I was almost debating if it was worth it, like should they have done this, did it overpower the character, because this thing kills absurdly early now. So I don't think it'll kill at 65 off the top, but a fully charged up smash, almost. At 70, it should, basically. A big problem that Samus used to have is that she would do that move, and in the middle of it, the opponent would fall out and basically punish you, even though you hit your opponent. Like, you played the game correctly, but you still got punished, which definitely sucks, but it appears that it's been kind of fixed. I've seen people fall out regardless anyway, but it's nice to know now that that move is also a reliable kill option. So you guys, and of course, we do have combos involving it, that way you guys can get the kills. And it is a very satisfying move to hit for some reason, I don't know why. And at full charge, it usually does about 30 damage, so it's really scary. Now, time for Samus's last smash attack. It is her forward smash, and just like her tilt, her forward tilt, she can actually angle this one down and upwards. And as with the tilt, if you aim for the head, this move kills ridiculously early. Also with the tilt, this move happens to have a sweet and sour spot. If you happen to hit with the arm itself, you're going to get a little less damage and a little less knockback. But if you get with the explosion at the end of the arm, as you see there, it just kills so ridiculously early. It's kind of just gross to even, like, here, I'll show you guys. I think it'll kill as early as, it should kill at 65 from here, at least. So here's what it looks like if you do not space properly. It will not kill. Alright. And here's what it looks like if you space it properly. I'm not even going to go for the head. I'm just going to go for center body. Easily kills. I believe it kills if you hit the feet, if you hit the head, regardless. There's so much knockback on it. But you should space it properly just to ensure you're going to get the kill. Now, the craziest thing, I was doing some of my own research on it just to see. I went as far back as I think 50 or 45 and tested from here. And if you aim for the head and the explosion hits, it'll still kill. It's just crazy. I had no idea that her attack was that strong until I did my own research on it. But yeah, those are her smash attacks, guys. Time to get into some of Samus's aerials. Samus has what I like to think pretty good aerials. I haven't really talked to many people about this, but I always thought Samus had pretty awesome aerials. So let's discuss them. The first one we're going to discuss is her neutral air, which is a move with 2 different hitboxes, similar to her down smash. In fact, if you were to pretty much put them side by side, it kind of looks the same. Except this time, the first move, the first kick that comes out, that is the stronger of the two. It's kind of like a reverse between the down smash. And of course there is a second hitbox, but the damage isn't so great and the knockback isn't either. Next is her up air, which is probably her best overall, her best overall aerial. Not only does it's one of the fastest ones she has, but it also has the ability to lead into so many combos. It can be a combo extender, it can be a combo ender. It's just an incredibly good move for Samus. Next we're going to talk about her forward air, which is also a pretty awesome move. It's kind of like she does up smash multiple times in the air, that's how I like to imagine it, but it's a very good move because not only can you basically keep your opponent at bay with it, it is also a very good combo ender and a combo starter. And at times you can even carry your opponent off the stage with it if you're good enough to kind of catch them. Now the thing is, what you just saw there where I pretty much down throw him to forward air, that is not always true on every character in the game, so you have to be very mindful of that. I always see a ton of people go for that down throw to forward air, but just keep in mind it's not always true. I think I tried it on a Zelda before this, and at no point was it true until I got her to around 20 to 25%. Let me see, what's next? The down air. I love Samus's down air. Not only does it look pretty cool, but it has a spike, and I love when my characters have spikes. It is rather slow. I believe it comes out at frame 16 or 15. I can't remember the exact data on it, but when you hit it, it's so satisfying, and you can pretty much just hit someone. And it's also a pretty good combo tool if you manage to cross up your opponent with it, because you can then go into your other aerial, which is your back air, which is one of Samus's best overall moves in my opinion. It kills so ridiculously early, and just like with some of our other moves, you do have to space it properly. If you do not space back air properly, if you hit them too early, the knockback is decreased, the damage is decreased, but if you can space it properly and get them with basically the foot of the move, it can kill so early, and it's just so great. Alright, let's get into some of Samus's specials now. It's time to cover Samus's special moves. Basically what she is known for, it defines her as a character. So let's go through all these moves. We have the charge shot. You do not have to fully charge it if you want to fire it, but it's incredibly powerful. Easily her best kill option. Be mindful of characters that have reflex, because once they see that your little cannon is flashing like that, it will definitely prompt them to shield or try to reflect or whatever more often than not. Keep that in mind. Sometimes that can add to your advantage, because some players, if they consistently try to shield or reflect, will leave themselves wide open, and you never really even have to fire the shot to begin with. So just a solid move by itself. Honestly, catch somebody off the edge with it. Maybe they're not ready for it, and you just take them out in one shot. It's just a great tool. Feels great when you hit somebody too from a long range, or when you outplay them and basically are able to get them with it. Feels great. I did take off stale moves so that I could show you the missiles. So Here's the side B. One big green missile usually does around 14 to 15. I'm used to seeing it do 15. That's kind of surprising. 14 it is, I guess. But if you hold the side B over and keep tapping B, you'll actually get multiple missiles. And these are heat-seeking to where if that Samus were to jump or go off the edge, you will see here in a bit, I think, they do manage to follow them, which is pretty useful at times. They won't kill, but it's still useful. We're going to go into Samus's B down, which a lot of people on first glance would not be impressed by it. The bombs do explode if they happen to touch the opponent, and if they don't touch the opponent, they are set on a timer to explode inevitably, basically. But these are actually great tools to use for edge guarding your opponent. You can basically set one on the edge if they try to get up, set one below, and get your opponent. Or if you want, you can actually, I'm not very good at this, but you can take the bombs and they can actually help you recover. Because if they hit you, you'll actually end up bouncing and you go into, it's almost like a free fall. Like, that's not me hitting B down right there or trying to roll. That's legitimately the bomb keeping me in that position. So be very mindful of where you place the bombs, because at times they can put you in a disadvantaged state. And finally, one of Samus's better moves, which is her B up. It doesn't look like much. She doesn't have much drift afterwards. She can't really drift far with it. But what's good about it is that it's an incredibly fast move out of shield. So if you're being pressured by your opponent, you can basically just hold shield and B up and get them for a good 15% usually, and there's not much they can do about it. It's an awesome move, and it's an awesome way to end off combos too that are in the air. We've finally made it to the combo portion of the video, which is one of my favorite parts of any video, basically. I'm going to try to keep all these combos true. That way they're not based on what your opponent does and doesn't do. Now keep in mind, you can't basically react with or you can react with DI, but sometimes DI does cause these combos to become not true. But just keep in mind that I'm trying to keep these all true. So let's cover the very first one. Let's start with the 0 to like 50. That sounds pretty fair, I think. Basically, we're going to start with what we already know is Samus's down throw, because it's a good combo starter. And let's begin. So we're going to go down throw to up air to B up. Now here's the thing. When you transition from down throw to up air, you have to be very quick. You cannot run. You basically have to do a short hop into it and catch him. That's probably the hardest part of this whole entire combo. But I'll show you guys what it is. Easy 44. At times I've seen it go to 47. I'm not sure why it wasn't 47. I must have missed one of my hits, but essentially that's all it is. Really basic, really simple. Just react to DI and you should get it no problem. This next combo will probably lose you a friend. Like, this is one of the most disrespectful combos you can probably do, but if you get it on somebody, chances are, like, the room is probably going to light up. I actually really love this combo. Let me set the damage. It's best to have your opponent anywhere from 35 to 50%. We're going to go with 40 just to, you know, make it a little easier. Also, it really helps if you can get a shield break. So if you can pressure your opponent and possibly break their shield, move them to the side of the map over here, and this is pretty much the easiest way to do it. I'm not saying it's going to guarantee a kill, because there are still people who will survive this if their character just has ridiculous recovery. But if you can hit it on somebody, it's really cool. Essentially what you're going to do is you're going to jump, leave a mine or a bomb in front of the character that you're going against, and then you're going to drift to the right of the map and go for a down air. So I'm going to try to get that off really quick and show you guys right here. You have to make sure you time it right though, because if you do it too soon, you are basically going to be in a disadvantage and your opponent will be able to probably follow up and possibly spike you as well. On top of that, if you do it too late, it's not actually true. So be very, very careful about how you time it. I try to wait as much as I can, but even then, like, it's sometimes pretty difficult, I'm not gonna lie. But if you can shield break your opponent, that's the easiest way to get this done. I don't know if I'll be able to hit it on him with him leaning. Oh, yeah, I can. Cool. But if you see that one wasn't actually true. Because, not because he was able to recover, but because it was only a 2, meaning that the bomb never touched him, and you actually kind of need the bomb to touch your opponent to make it work. See what I mean? Works a whole lot better. This next combo is incredibly simple and easy. It's just 2 steps. The only difficult thing about it is you're going to have to adjust the size of your charge shot accordingly to your opponent's damage. So basically, if your opponent has high damage, the charge shot needs to be very small. But this works anywhere from usually 0 to 60, depending on the character. Here's what it is. It's basically, I'm going to get about that much charge shot, not a full charge shot. And you can, usually I like to be kind of like spaced a little bit around here maybe when it's higher damage, but you definitely want to be up close and personal if you are at, anything under 20. And essentially what you're going to do is you're just going to fire the charge shot and follow up with the forward smash. Easy 44. Now, as I said before, it gets much more difficult the higher the percentage grows, and you're going to need to space and be more cautious about how big your charge shot is. So keep that in mind whenever you're doing it. But other than that, it's a very, very easy combo. This next combo is basically going to be a freestyle version for you guys. You guys can basically do as you will with what I give you, kind of. There's 2 ways to set this up. The easiest for me is up tilt. As I said before, I think up tilt's one of Samus's best comboing tools. At 10%, you can easily do an up tilt to up B, get a quick 30, as you see there. At usually, I think it's 20%, you can actually start doing up airs. It's a little hard to catch with up airs before 20% because they fall so quickly because they only get so much bounce off of like one move at 10%. But if you do an up tilt with your at 20, you basically do up air afterwards. Not as much as your up B, but still consistent damage, which is always nice. It's always really hard to follow up with an additional up air too, but if you can get one, more power to you. You can also do a neutral air. If you were to hit it around 30, you have to make sure they get high enough because it's kind of one of those moves. Unless you want to wait on it, but I suggest putting them to 30 before you try doing that one. And the coolest thing is once they get to 30, they will actually be susceptible to a dare spike. So if you do that, you can do that. Or hang on, put them a little bit above 30. A little bit above 30, and you can try to catch them with something else like a fair or a back air or another neutral air. For basically, the things you can choose are endless, and it's just up to you to basically change the camera angle on me there. There you go. It's just up to you guys to figure out what you want to do, but basically it all works. It's just 2 really good tools that open up the door for a lot of things. One of my personal favorites is to dare into back air. Really, really strong, 27%. See, it's nice to have combos at all percents for characters, and while Samus isn't really a super combo-based character, if we're being honest, she's not going to have Sheet combos, she's not going to have Falcon combos or Joker combos. That doesn't mean she's not able to combo with the best of them, in my opinion. So yeah, that's your next combo. This next combo is the only combo in the video that is not true because of the startup, mainly because you can tech the initial hit or you can jump out of it, but if your opponent does it or doesn't, then you can follow up with some massive damage. So I'm going to show you guys what it is. You need to have them at least at 15%, that way that it actually does spike off the stage. You're going to go for a handy dandy up tilt, and what we're going to do is we're going to leave a bomb as we do the up tilt, and when we do that, hopefully the bomb causes, or it ends up hitting this Dark Samus's legs, causing 2 hits because it's going to be the initial landing of the bomb and the explosion, and then we'll follow up with a quick charge shot for easy 50 damage. Okay, so here we go. There we go. Simple as that. Now, for whatever reason, it did not register that was a combo. Traditionally, it'll say it's a 3-hit combo because the leg or the heel kick itself isn't actually like part of the combo. It's just the setup for it. If you can find another way to basically ground your opponent, possibly get them in a tech chase scenario, this also works just as well. It is a little bit harder to get the mine on somebody, but if you can get it to work, it's pretty cool. I'll try it one more time for you guys. There we go. There's our 3. 46, not including the kick. It's pretty good damage right there, especially when we're at 15%. That was well over 50 damage. Pretty nice. And finally, our last combo is going to cover our new and improved up smash. We're basically going to put a mine down, and we're going to basically convert that into an up smash. So it's easy damage. It takes a little bit of precision on your part to actually get the mine to hit just right, but if you're lucky, you can read the explosion just right and land into an up smash. This works at pretty much all percents because of the way the mine actually explodes. So you can do it at 0 if you want to, but I find it's actually a really good kill option in the upper percents. So here's what it looks like. It's really simple. I'll try that one more time. I missed him. Easy 34. You can even make it appear like you're going to go for an aerial or something, and then just come around behind him. That's usually the easiest way to do it, just to trick your opponent. However, this does become a kill option at later percents. With light characters, this can kill up like usually around 80, which is pretty cool. Especially if you charge, it'll definitely kill around 80. But uncharged, it usually kills around 90. So here's what it would look like. Try it one more time. There we go. But yeah, that's basically it. If this video helped you guys, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I love to know if my videos actually help you guys. Feel free to leave a like if you really did enjoy it. Even subscribe. I post these videos. I'm trying to post these videos more often than not. I love to help you guys, and I really appreciate all the views and stuff you guys have given me as of late. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.